We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phalen, a weekly program that we do both on television and radio, and do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners, each and every week that join us, where we have guests from within the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office and throughout Fairfield County. Back by popular demand 2 weeks in a row is Lt Mark Churchill. Good to see you, Lieutenant.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back.
And certainly glad to see you here. And you told us a lot last week about a lot of things going on in the radio room. This week we're going to talk a little bit about the Millersport Corn Festival and your new assignment in the jail, which is coming up. And actually you'll be supervising almost half of the employees within the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office, and that is a lot of responsibility and certainly challenging. And you have had a son that recently graduated from Lancaster High School.
Yes, I did.
In the band and all that stuff?
He was a 4-year marching band, 4-year percussion ensemble, graduated. He got a scholarship at the Howard University in Lancaster. So Dad only had to buy the book, so Dad was pretty happy.
Yes.
And he's going to focus on forensic chemistry.
Okay.
So.
And you've done a lot of things with the boosters, haven't you, over the years? I
Absolutely.
see at the fair and different things working.
I donate a lot of my time to the band boosters. It's a great organization. There's a lot of great parents, a great alumni, and it's for the kids. And that's what makes it more important. Is it really benefits the kids. They do an outstanding job every day.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming Millersport Corn Festival in Millersport, Ohio. And one of the things that the Sheriff's Office is involved in is taking care of the security in and around the grounds during that festival.
Well, there's a lot that, we provide all the security for the Millersport Sweet Corn Festival. And there's a lot of planning that goes into it. We actually start in May and April about discussions with the Sweet Corn Festival chairperson about what needs do they think they're going to have this year, and basically who the performers are going to be on Friday and Saturday night is important because we may have to increase security at the stage. If there's been any changes to gate locations or if they're going to restrict access at certain gates, we may have to assign a person there to make sure that that gate remains closed. And we also have individuals that walk among the attendees, and they're dressed in plain clothes, so they don't necessarily stick out, but we do have the higher majority of people that are uniformed because we do want our presence seen. We're not there to sneak up on anybody. We want them to be able to see a deputy in the area as a crime deterrent.
And I think every year, what are some of the issues that you're faced with? Other than, I think traffic's probably one of the main issues, isn't it?
Traffic is always a big issue, and a big thank you to the residents of Millersport who, during this time, I know sometimes it's very hard to get into your street or like if you're visiting, make sure you have your resident tag in your mirror, and the deputies working downtown traffic will try and get you through as quickly as possible. So be patient, and we'll get you through it.
Now, are you going to have our Community Watch involved? And for our viewers or listeners that may not know what the Community Watch is, that's actually about 90 citizens that volunteer their time. They wear a yellow shirt that has Community Watch on it, and they help in a lot of ways, don't they?
Absolutely, they do, and they're a big benefit. They help us work in we have a community relations tent on the grounds, so they do a lot of volunteering there. Answering questions from the public that they might have about our organization and what we do. And we also pair them up with a deputy, and they'll walk around with a deputy on the grounds. And again, they donate their time. It's great for them to be up there, and they're just a really good group of people.
And what kind of procedures in place if God forbid there was some kind of a major event at the festival? How do we prepare for that, and what would be some of the things that would happen if we had something happen up there of a serious nature?
Well, this is part of the planning stages back in April and May. What we do is we work with the EMA, Emergency Management Agency, John Coaches, the chairperson from the Sweet Corn Festival grounds, and representatives from the Sheriff's Office, myself and Lieutenant Tim Voris, is we create a plan that where if we have a storm that comes through, if we have a fire, or if we have a major incident where someone's become injured, we have plans set up and ways of communicating with the fire department and getting resources there. That way it's already outlined, and we all know what we're supposed to do, where we're supposed to go and stand, if there's a gate that needs opened as a result, who has the key, how do we get out. So we do a lot of planning.
And what would be, do you have anything that kind of comes to mind over the last few years of something that happened out there, positive, negative? Lost kids? Lost people get separated?
People get separated. Sometimes I think we have more children who lose their parents than we do parents who lose their children. So that's always a big issue. And we do have a lost children's site on the grounds. And we have volunteers that staff that, and they do an outstanding job reassuring these children that everything's okay. And we've never left a child there on a Sunday, so that someone's always claimed one.
Well, what happens if, say, that whether it's the fairgrounds, the corn festival, some major event, if someone would notice, like a small child that maybe had been separated, maybe was walking around, look confused, what would you advise people to do?
I would immediately, go stand with the child, and then again, just as immediately locate law enforcement, have law enforcement come to you. That way, you're not removing the child from where they were found,
right,
because it could be construed by other people that you're attempting to abduct.
Sure.
So it's best to stay in one place with the child, motion for law enforcement to come to you, because we do walk around the ground, so we're always visible, and then allow the law enforcement to take the child, and then we'll move the child up to Lost Children's.
Okay. So you enjoy it?
I do. I think my most memorable experience was it was about 8 years ago, and I got in a corn eating contest. To this day, my wife says she doesn't understand how I didn't win.
How many ears of corn did you eat?
I made it through 3.5, got ready to start my 4th, and the gentleman that won had gone through, I think it was 8.
Oh my golly!
I was trying, but I just couldn't do it. It's a lot of corn.
That's one thing that over the years I did this one time at Myers, and it was the Lancaster chief, Lutz at the time, but they had us come in to be part of a donut eating contest. And that was the one and only time I've ever done that, because there's just something that kind of, I don't know how these people do it, where they eat all the hot dogs or they eat sandwiches and donuts, because it just kind of like, I didn't fare very well. I didn't win, and nor did I feel very good afterwards.
Yeah, they're very filling. I don't like them myself. So. Okay,
now you're going to be taking over the responsibilities of the jail, the jail administrator, and tell us a little bit about some of the plans you've got.
Actually, I take over this week, and I'm looking forward to working with the staff. I'll have 7 sergeants, and I believe around 48 deputies, I believe, that will be working in the Bureau. And I think for the first couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, is I just want to take the time to get to know the staff, for them to get to know me. I'm going to make sure that they're aware of what my expectations are, make sure that we're being professional and that we're adhering to policy, and that the inmates are being cared for the way they should, with dignity and respect, and offering them all the medical needs that they have, and making sure that we're fulfilling the court's responsibilities of having the inmates in court or available for court on time. But it's going to be a learning experience. I have worked in the jail bureau, but it was not in this form of capacity. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be challenging. I'm really looking forward to it.
And one thing we talked about earlier today before we went on the air, the fact that because we opened the annex, and that is the third jail facility within Fairfield County, we have on second and third shift a lot of young deputies. I mean, most of them have less than 15 months on.
Yes,
So that's certainly a challenge in and of itself because you're dealing with the folks that do not have a lot of experience yet.
Well, I can look at it as a challenge, or I can look at it as an opportunity, and I can see it being viewed equal in both directions. But I'm really gonna lean towards the opportunity side,
Right.
and hopefully, be able to mold them and get them to be good deputies and good stewards of the county.
And just last Saturday morning, we had a jail population that reached 320. And today we're around 314 during the taping of this program. So these are numbers that we really have never seen before in the volume of inmates within the jail.
Well, we're going to have to either find a place for them to stay, and I really don't want to have to move any inmates out of the county, but if it's one of those things we have to do, we're going to have to do it.
Yeah, and these are tough decisions because it's expensive to send them out of the county, but there's only so much room. And for our viewers or listeners that may not know, it was last fall that we started putting together the Annex, which is a set-alone facility out by the Southeastern Correctional Institute. Holds about 90 prisoners out there, and that's worked out pretty darn well.
Yes, it has, and we've utilized all 90 spaces pretty much on a daily basis.
Yes, yes. So as you assume your new role as a jail administrator, what are some of your philosophies about supervision and leadership?
Well, definitely lead by example. If you want your personnel to be professional, you need to be professional. So I'm going to make sure that I'm professional with my staff. If you want your employees to treat the inmates with respect, then you're going to need to make sure that you emphasize that, because the inmates, they have broke the law. They have done something wrong that's landed
and some
up
of them are not very nice people, nor do they act very nice.
Right, but you still need to treat them with dignity, and you still need to treat them with respect, and to get them to be able to be happy about their job. We have a wonderful organization. We have great benefits. And I couldn't imagine not having the job that I have today and having the benefits that I have today. And these are the things that we need to always remember, because there are people out there right now that are struggling to get by. So we need to be thankful.
Yeah, and I've often thought of that. When I started with the Washington, D.C. Police Department when I was 22 years old, now 42 years ago. And I can remember thinking to myself, I get paid to do this, and this is something that I really enjoy. It's really interesting, and I can tell you all these years later, I look forward to come and work as much as I did that day when I was a 22-year-old rookie in Washington, D.C. So it's a great career.
Oh, I would agree. I also started when I was 21, getting ready to turn 22, and it's provided very well for me and my family. I have a great sense of pride in what I do, and I know that my son and my daughter have a great sense of respect for me for what I've chosen my career, and it feels good. I can lay my head down at night knowing that I've helped someone in one form or another.
And this might be a good time as we're ready to conclude. If anyone's interested in a law enforcement career and they have a peace officer training certificate and they may be interested in joining the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office, go on our website, www.sheriff.fairfield.oh.us, or just give us a call in the office, and we would certainly encourage you to fill an application out and become part of our team, and we really would encourage you to do that if that's your field. Well, Sarge, it's been we've done the last couple weeks here, and it's going quickly. You've given us a lot of good information, and as you kind of get acquainted with the jail and things, we'd like to have you back here in a few months to kind of report in what's going on with all those prisoners, some changes that you may have made, and some of the surprises you've had. Can you do that?
I look forward to it, but I hope I don't have too many surprises.
I agree.
Thank you.
do appreciate each of you joining us, and the clock on the wall says we're out of time. So until same time, same place, see you right here next week.
There are so many fun things we all can do to be healthier, no matter who you are or where you are. So let's move.
Oh, here we go.
Let's stretch in the grass.
What a play!
Let's play tag.
Wow, unbelievable.
Let's jump up and down.
Oh, what a way to finish it.
And most of all, let's eat better so that we have the energy we need to play an hour a day, every day.
Everyone can play. Just go to letsmove.gov to learn more.